Hey, how's it going everybody? It's your man Essex JAY, back again with the second part of this under the map glitch. And I'm going to have to explain, I've got a sore throat at the moment, so I can't talk perfectly, so I'm going to sound even more boring than I normally do. So bear with me, and we'll get on through this, and I'll show you the second part of glitching under the map and discovering all these wonderful places that are hidden under there. Now I've got to say, oh hang on a minute, you're looking fine girl. Whoa, where'd you work out? I'm going to have to join that gym. Actually not. Yep, second part of the glitch, and this has caused a little bit of a storm in the forums, this has. A lot of people have been complaining, not so much complaining, but saying I shouldn't be talking about this, shouldn't be putting out this information, it's for the selected few, it should be kept secret, Rockstar's going to patch this information if we show them how we do it. I disagree with that. I think people should know this information. It's public after all, that's how I found it. So yeah, you should know, so you can be creative and enjoy this wonderful game that we've all got together and see what you come up with. Without ever further ado anyway, let's get on with it and crack on into the second part of how to get under the map and discover hidden places. Okay, here we are back in Creator, and if you'd followed the previous video you get to this point where you got your checkpoints down, and we've built the breaching machine that I'll quickly want to touch on right now. So we built a breaching machine template and put it down. That will get us through the wall, that's fine. Just wanted to give a shout out to Guy, poor Livy Lass, who actually come up with this. He was the original founder of this breaching method. A lot of people have used it in their videos as a method to breach, but nobody's actually given him a shout out before, so I'm doing that. Well done, fella. Okay, so what we want to do, obviously, we want to get under there now and explore these hidden premises that are under there that a lot of us know about. Okay, so there's one particular one around here that I know of. That's a good starting point. In your own time you can explore all underneath these docks. You may find lots of other places. We're just going to start in this area, and the first thing we want to do is build a huge template that we can sink under the ground that will become our ground that we drive on, basically. So we're going to go into props and bring back our good friend, the little stunt building block. Click twice to the left and you'll get the largest size, 28 by 48. Zoom out a bit to give yourself some room. You see what's going on. And obviously we just want to make sure we've got some roadage under there to cover from where we're going to drop down to the right of that breaching machine and be able to travel across to where this location is that we want to explore. This takes a little bit of time building this template, but once it's done, and you can get under there and build much quicker and easier once you've found the level that the locations are on. This is a method I use. Once you get the position right, you can be a bit arsey at this point and say, no, I'm going to flip up this way, I'm going to go that way. But you'll get there, take your time. So I'll pop one down. So the idea is, obviously all we're going to do here is just build a multi-story layer of grounds so that when we sink them under the ground we can delete away from the top, keep dropping down until we land on the roof of a invisible location. You can see here I've just decided to rotate it to give myself more space in this area. Then just brought it up a touch by pressing L3. Again, click across to select, press L3, across to select L3. So we're building multiple levels with roughly like a container, sort of a large container space between them. And we're going to do quite a few of those, as you can see, just to cover all the bases and make sure we've got plenty of depth to work our way down on. Okie doke, so that's done. Now I just want to give it like a handle, so we're going to take this piece and rotate it. Get it roughly lined up. It makes sense to try and keep things square to the roads up here on the surface, because you won't have any roads down there to guide you. So it's nice to know that what you're building and sinking now will have some relevance to direction under there, at least with the X and Y coordinates. So I rotated it, made it quite a high handle. Then we're going to go to templates, scroll down to create templates, and then click on create new template, and now start to select your props. So I've selected the handle, I've selected that further away piece. I'm just going to zoom in here, makes life a lot easier, and then just click our way down on the corner. It's the best bet so you can see what you're doing clearly. Just add all of them. Okay, so once they're all selected, you want to go down to Save Template. Just checking around first. I actually realised a little mistake that I'd made there. There's that piece low down on the bottom. I wanted that higher up because that's going to be our landing pad that we land on. Because if you remember from the first video, the exit inside the breached warehouse is towards the water side. So we don't have to drop down too far all the way down to that, because then we'll have to build multiple ramps to get up again. It makes no sense. So what we want to do is place a level up on the first highest level that we've got on the template. So I've backed out of templates and I'm just adding this other piece now to this structure that we've built. Pop that one on, just extend it a little bit. Add another one. And now we can go back to templates, create template, and select all the props. Something I forgot to mention there, this could help you a lot, is I had trouble getting that top piece on there because stacking wasn't on. In the prop section, if you scroll down about 4 or 5 different options, you've got prop stacking and it's set to off as default. If you put it on, then it will stack props on multiple levels without a problem. So that's how I managed to get that higher piece on it. Okay, so we've selected all of the props. We now create new template option. And we're going to go down, save the template. I always like to back out and change to a different stunt piece before deleting away the original structure that we've built. Because that's no use to us at the moment. We want the template we've made from it. So delete away all these bits and bobs. Now we can bring up the big bad boy that we just built and position that. You see it comes up automatically sunken already just because of where its center point is. As a whole structure, it takes the middle center point, and that's where it starts it off as. So bring it up so you can see what you're dealing with. Position yourself fairly squarely onto the land above and to your objectives, and sink it down. Take your time with this because this is very important. It takes a lot of changing once you've done it. So check yourself a couple of times. Remember where your places are that you want to be and where you're starting. It's alright once you've done it because you can build from that underneath, but get it right the first time, it helps. So I've done that, I've sunk it down, taken it down, probably held it for 1 second more. The moment it left sight on land, continued sinking for about 1 second, then I stopped. Okay, what we want to do now is move this checkpoint and make life a lot easier if we had this starting grid underground. So go to your placements, click on the, oh god, I've forgotten what it's called now, the interaction, the big square in the middle of the remote. Oh man, how can I forget that? The one you press and hold to bring up the interactive menu, I believe. Oh right, yeah, so you press that so you get first person view. Then go into starting grid. Move over, drive over exactly where the starting point is, then press X and you will pick it up. Then it will stay with you while you drive along and place it somewhere else. Obviously now we want to try and breach through and pop it down on our new ground, our new level underground, under the map. This actually took me a little while today to get through here. Yesterday it was first time, boom, no problem, happy days. But today, it's all over the place. It's pushing me outside on the roof underneath the crushing machine. So I'm going to fast forward through this bit. And we're through. No problem, see? Easy. Right. So this is good now. This is all good. We're still holding on to our starting grid. And we're going to pop through here and drop down onto the, obviously the template that we've laid under the ground. Now if you drive away from this warehouse, because it can get a bit funny with structures above you saying that you can't place it because there's obstructions. So try and find an open area, drive around a little bit, not bang on top of where you want to explore, but a nice sensible distance away and pointing roughly towards where you want to go. So we found an open bit of space here that he's happy with, pointing roughly towards where we want to go. Press X. And that's it. At this point, because of the hassle in doing that, it might be worth saving. It's always worth it. So just go back to your main menu and save the project. Okay, so right now, just want to go to get back under the ground. So we want to put ourselves down into first person view again. So you want to press that huge black middle button in the middle of the controller. I'm going to look up the word and add it as text in the subtitles. And once we're in first person view, we're going to go down, open up the menu again and go back to the main menu and test. Okay, then down here all we want to do is exit the test. And when you're in first person view, when you start the test, when you exit, it leaves you where that starting grid is. If you didn't do that, it would spawn you back up on the ground again. Okay, so just checking out roughly where our place is that we want to be. What we want to do now is position ourselves over the location we want to explore. I'm giving you a heads up and a head start here by telling you roughly where to start if you didn't know already. Get yourself over the location. Bring up the placement and then props. And start deleting away the floors by pressing the delete button on your chosen console. On PS4 it's square. Keep dropping, and with a bit of luck, sooner or later you will land, be floating literally. That's when you know you've landed on an invisible structure, one of the secret locations. Okay, so that's brilliant, that's where we want to be, that's a good point. So we can actually get off of the building now. And just find where the side of it is. Check that you've not glitched inside it. And then delete the floor away again. Check where the side is. If we look up there, we can see a little bit of crash damage still on the side of the structure. And that's good. So the idea now is just to place a ramp down. The best way to enter these places is through a ramp up through the bottom. Some have access through the side, but it's not as easy. So try and come up from the bottom if you can, and start with a small ramp. This is where trial and error comes in. It takes you a while to position these to get perfection, but it's all good fun. And there, with a small ramp, I think we got lucky first time. Now you're not going to see anything inside a building in this mode. I've just pressed the middle button again, and I didn't realise it put me up here, so all I'm going to do is hit that button again, go down to first person view, go to test. And in test mode, leave it in this if you want to explore and see what the actual building is, because in test mode you will see the structure once you're inside it. So stay in test mode. Just check off the edges of any hide drops before you go, because many a time I've jumped off thinking there's ground beneath and there isn't. Take a little drive round and see what you found. And obviously we all know what this looks like. It's the single story MC clubhouse. There's many structures down here, many to find. Just take a drive round once you've got your floor down. Stick to that level floor that you've got at the moment and explore around the place. There's many places, and if you notice on the map there, it gives you a layout of the building as well. If you used to go into options now and open up your map, you'd get a detailed layout of where you are, and even a little dot showing you where the ramp is, so you can position future ramps more to your advantage wherever you want to go. Another little tip obviously is you try and complete a race once it's published and uploaded. When you're testing it online, drop off the map, drop off the edge of your ground so you go back up to land and finish the map. Saves you getting any bad strikes from not completing. Okay, hope you love this as much as I do, and it comes in useful for you, and subscribe, like, and I'll be bringing you much more of the same shortly. Alright, cheers, bye.